Hi. It is, I don't know, it's after 7, I think. Maybe it's closer to 8, somewhere's around there. Friday night, June 5th, and I'm out in the backyard. I'll let you watch the Happy Buddha for a little bit while we chat. Hey, Liz. So, I've been thinking a lot about envisioning a new 2020, envisioning a new world of people loving each other, people caring about each other, people treating each other kindly, that treating everyone with kindness, treating everyone with respect. There's been a lot of protests and upheaval in the last week or so, as we all know, and I think it's disheartening, of course, that there's so much injustice in the world. It's not just in the United States either. There's injustice everywhere. And the thing that I think I want to focus on, though, is that there are so many people who believe in justice. And I'll just leave this here for a second so I'm not driving you guys crazy. I'll just talk. There, I think, are so many people who are caring, loving, kind, generous, are always doing good things for others, take good care of themselves. They do a lot of self-care. They do a lot of prayer and meditation. They send loving thoughts to the universe and to all people. I think that probably, I'm going to rough guesstimate, 95%, maybe even higher, of a number of the people do care about everybody. That there isn't a feeling of, getting one up on somebody and all that kind of stuff. I think the majority of people actually do care a great deal about the suffering of others and want to relieve it. And, the full consciousness, if we are all one, when one suffers, all suffer. And so we can choose to try the very best of ourselves to, send the love and light, help bring justice to wherever you can. I mean, it could be something simple that just happens in a grocery store or when you're walking in a park or someplace. It doesn't have to be some big, magnanimous, event. One person makes a big difference on the planet. Look at Mother Teresa, look at Buddha, look at Jesus, look at, oh boy, I'm running a blank, I'm sorry. Nelson Mandela. There's so many people who have made a huge impact in the world by doing daily good things. And I think a lot of people do daily good things. Of course, it doesn't get reported in the news. That's not quote unquote newsworthy. And yet it is probably the most newsworthy of all news. And what do we get is, riots and murders and car crashes and people robbing houses, and that's considered news. Unfortunately, I wish it was not so much. Although I did have a friend who had a newspaper for a while called Good News, People's Good News or something. I can't remember the title of it. And it lasted quite a while. I mean, it wasn't like it folded 2 months in, but the things that happen in the world that have become sensationalized tend to grab everybody's attention, just like celebrities do and those kinds of things. Although I guess that's changed a lot. A lot of people are starting to realize that what your neighbor does is more important than what some celebrity does. What you do is more important than what some celebrity does most of the time. Although, is it Tyler Perry, I believe, was paying people's groceries bills, which was awesome. So, like, it's great that that kind of stuff does get reported. It's great that he wants to and is willing to do those kinds of things. And you know what? That's the one thing when people like that do really good things, it inspires others to do really good things as well and to give where you can. And I think that's an important piece of this. So I think, everything that everybody's ever been through, you've survived it. You've come out on the other side already. So, we'll get through this too. And there was someone that spoke recently, and she said, this is like a recalibration. I'm going to use her word. And we're recalibrating how the world is going to look. The COVID-19 is doing it. The protests are doing it. Racial injustice is doing it. People being kind and generous and loving to each other is doing it. So there's a whole recalibration of how things are going to look going forward. We keep talking about 2020 vision, right? The 2020 vision. So I'm envisioning a kinder, gentler, more loving world. And I will maintain that vision as best I can. In spite of news reports or things that I hear, I believe that most people do really want to do that. That is their innate way of being. I think those other things are learned. They can be learned in your family of origin. They can be learned in society. Things that are maybe not so pleasant are learned. I don't think we're born that way. I think we're born, fresh as a daisy. We're born to be loving human beings. And somewhere along the line, those things change. And life experiences can change them in people. But for those that believe that there is an afterlife and a before this life, this was the experience for this lifetime. So what are you going to make of it? What are you going to do with it? What are you going to change with it? How are you going to look at that and decide how you want to move forward? And envisioning a wonderful, global, loving world where there aren't as many dividing lines as there are now will be a better thing for humanity. I think one of the things they talked about in the beginning when the COVID-19 started happening was because all the planes were downed and that all the smog was gone in LA and in India and other places around the world where they couldn't even see the next building. That all changed. And people started to realize, hey, that does make an impact. There is something about global weather and global pollution. So it's kind of interesting that certain things have been revealed, shall we say, at this time. And I think it's quite interesting that more and more people are realizing it. There's a lot of changes that are going to be coming in the next 4 and 5 months, I would think. I don't know about other people in other states, but here in Connecticut, some of the things have opened up. Some of them stayed open. I know there were other states that shut down completely, and it was each state's decision on how they wanted to handle that. So I think it's interesting that, there's some states that had virtually no impact with COVID-19 and others that were really inundated with it. So as we move forward into 2020's, let's say the summer, because we're coming up on, well, it's already June, but technically I guess it's June 21st is the summer, first day of summer. Things are going to shift and change. I've already seen a change. You've probably noticed it too, where people are more out and about and things are opening up and people are less fearful, hopefully having less anxiety. And those are things that you can control. You can control how much fear and anxiety you have. You can control your thoughts. You can control your personal space. So these are all things that are important in life. They're learning tools, of course, as well. But I also think that they are things that you find out as you move forward in life that you have choices around those things and what you want to put into your life. And everything you put into your life, you're choosing. So if you don't want to watch a lot of news, then don't watch a lot of news. I always say if there's anything I really need to know, it will come to me without any effort on my part. I will find out about it somehow. Somebody will tell me. I will see something. I will hear something. I don't need to seek it out. I've always felt that way, probably since I was in my early 20s, that anything I really needed to know would come to me without a lot of effort on my part. Anything that I really needed to know. And it does. It's not a miracle, it just does. That's kind of how it works. So it's wonderful. That's how, I guess, the world works. And I know some people just, always want to watch the news or find out what's going on. I'm not one of them. I don't care about the weather. I don't care about the news. I do care about it in the regards that I care what happens to people, because any loss, any one person's loss is a huge loss, especially to those that know and love them people. But I also know that, I need to focus on, doing as much good in the world as I can. And I'm sure I fall short on days in general. And it is hi there. It is an ever-changing scenario, let's say. So I think as life moves on, as I grow and as I learn and as I change and as I get new information, then I make different decisions too. So I think that's one of the cool things about, life is every day you can make new decisions about, what's going on in your life, what you can do in your corner of the world, and what you can do in your part of your life with others and for yourself, and taking good self-care and all that. I think that's all a big piece of this. So hopefully that's what's happening on a daily basis in your life. And know that, fear and anxiety and, what the future holds is you are going to be able to handle it no matter what it is. Whatever it is, you will be able to handle it. If you want to look back on your life, you can see that you've handled many, many challenges and you're still here. So I think it's kind of nice if you want to consider that as a positive thing for your future and for your future outlook, and stay true to yourself. Be who you're meant to be. Be true to who you want to be. Be authentic to who you want to be on a daily basis, and show up. Show up to the things that are important to you, whatever they might be. And everybody has a different drive inside. If you do a lot of meditation and prayer, you'll find the answers that you need. You don't have to find it in a newscast. You don't have to find it on Facebook. You will find it within yourself, because it's there. We all know our own truths. They're there. And a lot of people are looking outside of themselves for them, but really they're inside you. So happy hunting. Yeah, happy hunting. That's what self-discovery is all about. And quite honestly, I relish it. I'm always amazed at the things I find out about myself. And I enjoy the things I find out about myself. Even the stuff I don't like, I'm glad I find out about it, because then I can do something about it if I choose to. So nothing wrong with that. A little self-discovery is a good thing. And a lot of it is even better. So I will sign off in the usual manner. The sun is always shining. Let's see. We got no sun here right now. Hang on. We got gray, cloudy skies up there. And the clouds are moving fast. I know it was sprinkling again earlier. So signing off for now, guys. Love y'all. And we'll see you again tomorrow. And hope you have a great night. Bye for now.